What one more thing you may need to optimize your bottom line? And get to know us for that. Yep, Gray Bar does that.
There's a big red barn where you say green. Norm's Bargain Barn. On discount windows, doors, and things. Norm's Bargain Barn.
Hi, I'm Norm Wilkie. Come see my new selection of Amish cabinetry made by my good Amish friends at Countrywood Products. We now stock 5 styles of cabinetry for you to choose from.
When you need to save on discount windows, doors, and cabinetry, come to Norm's Bargain Barn. With locations in Shiloh and Fenton at the bottom of Gravois Bluffs. Visit normsbargainbarn.com.
That's normsbargainbarn.com.
This is the Verizon Extra Innings Show. Verizon, the most reliable 5G in St. Louis.
The 0-2 pitch. A swing, and that ball is lined to left field. Newbar is there. He makes the catch for a Redbird winner. Newbar made the catch for the last out in Sonny Gray's one-hitter last night and makes the play on Ramirez to give the Cardinals a series win in Cleveland. The Cardinals came back from a 6-1 deficit to beat the Guardians 9-6.
It is the Extra Innings Show. It's presented by Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs. Joe Pott with you here from KMOX, and we're happy to talk to you. 314-436-7900. You can call us and also get on the socials. We're on Facebook. We're on X. We're on, what did I miss there? YouTube. We're all on there, and I can see your comments. So just drop your comment right there, and we can chat about this win. We can chat about this season, whatever you like. This is I've said it over and over and over. This is a really fun team to watch. And one of the sort of overriding themes is this team it doesn't seem that this team is worried about perhaps falling behind 6-1 as they did today after 4 innings of play, because they immediately came back with a couple of runs. Then they put up a big inning themselves in the 6th. And they end up coming back to win this game 9-6. Is Cleveland very good? No, I get that. But the thing that Cleveland has not done well has been score runs. And today they obviously scored a bunch of runs. Coming into today, Cleveland was averaging 3.7 runs a game. And they scored 6 runs in that 4th inning. The Cardinals were scoring 4.7 runs a game, and they managed to come back and get 9 in this game. And Oliver Marmol said in our postgame show, in the network postgame show, this is not a team that is usually going to outslug you. There are games that's going to happen. We saw it in the Chicago series. But what they have done really well this year is have that sort of relentless offense. And when they're going to beat you, they're going to do it with consecutive hits and multiple runs in an inning. And the 6th inning was the perfect example of that today. It was 4 straight singles to start that inning, one of which scored a run. Then you get the double from Victor Scott II. We talked in the network's show about his base running specifically. So he gets to 3rd on the sacrifice fly that Donovan hits that ends up scoring Pozo. And that allows him then to score on a ground ball out to the right side of the infield later in that inning. Smart baseball. It's another thing that this team has done during the year. This is not a team that is going to usually make a ton of mistakes. Are there going to be mistakes? Absolutely there are. And there's probably going to be some mistakes that have you scratching your head because there are some younger players on this team. But more often than not, I feel like what you see with this team is smart baseball, and it's exciting baseball for the most part. And a game like today is the perfect example of what this team can do and what they're capable of doing to you offensively. And that is just, again, having that relentless approach where it doesn't matter if they're up 6-1, they're down 6-1, or what the situation is. And that is something that is directly contrived from what Brant Brown has brought to this team, is that approach at the plate. And that approach that is consistent and unwavering and does not vary depending on the situation of the game. Yes, there's going to be some adjustments in your approach depending on what is needed in that specific situation, right? If you're hitting to the right side, if a fly ball is going to bring in a run with a sac fly, those kind of things. But it's not dependent on, hey, we need to bop right now because we're down 6-1. That's not the way that this team approaches it. And because it's not, you have a much more consistent approach to the offense that you see from this Cardinals team. Get in and chat about it here, 314-436-7900. I'd be glad to take your call on this Saturday night here in St. Louis. Much nicer weather-wise than we've had around here. It's still warm, but, man, it's not like it was middle of last week and beginning of last week. It is certainly better than that. But it certainly feels better when you're watching a Cardinals team that has now won yet another series and is set up for a series sweep behind one of the better starters you've had this year. And aside from a little stretch in there where Matthew Liberatore kind of had some fatigue issues, he's been really good. And he takes a sub-4 ERA into the start tomorrow morning against Cleveland with a good chance to get a to get a sweep against this team that frankly is not very good. And when you split that Chicago series and you lose the last two games in that Chicago series, and then you look ahead to a road trip that starts with 3 in Cleveland and 3 in Pittsburgh, ending with 3 at your division leading rival, you realize what has to happen in those first 6 games. And that is at the least go 4-2 to win both those series. And I think really you go into it thinking we've got to sweep these 2 series. And that's the way the Cardinals, I think, are approaching. And that's obviously now what's in front of you. You also have a chance to get to a season best 9 over the 500 mark with a win tomorrow morning. 8 over right now after the win at 46-38. So again, this is a team. I saw 2 posts on X that were, I think, that really summed up where this team is. The first one was, if you're a Cards fan and you're not following Augie Nash, he's a great follow on Twitter, on X. He posts fantastic historical Cardinals pictures, stories, all those kind of things. But he quite simply put today that this team wins games that the 2023 and 24 teams wouldn't. And that is absolutely the truth. There are so many times when you see a game or a game starts and the Cardinals get down or things aren't going quite the way you want. And a good example is, a starter has a tough game, right? Short start. Those are games that would go from 3-4 runs to 7-8 runs. You end up getting blown out more often than not the last 2 years. And this year, this team is winning those games. So that was the first. The other one I saw was Frank Cusimano from Channel 5, the NBC affiliate here in St. Louis, obviously. And he said this team continues to do what it's done all year. The expectations are here, and the Cardinals exceed them. Every single time, basically, feels like every single time, this team is exceeding expectations. And I think those both sum it up pretty well. Raise your hand if you had on June 28th, this team at 8 games over 500 and 3 games back of the division, because I bet you're lying. Because I don't think that's the case. I think that I was fairly positive about where this team could be, and I would not have told you that heading towards the All-Star break, you could potentially be looking at a team that is 10 over and could be leading the division or very close to leading the division. And obviously, that projects out for the rest of this week and what's to come over the next 10 days or so. But the point is, this team, I think there isn't much of a doubt that this team is going to be right in the mix at the All-Star break and very likely close to or around that 10-game mark over the 500 mark. And it could be better than that. And it might be a couple games back like they are now, 8. But I just think that it's been a really fun season following this team because of that fact. Because you have a fun brand of baseball, you have players that genuinely seem to enjoy playing the game, and this team continues to exceed expectations on a daily basis. Got a couple of reposts, but I don't have any comments yet. So if you want to get in 314-436-7900, or hit up on the socials at YouTube, at Facebook, at X. You can drop a comment right on the stream, and we will get you on there, and we will talk about your comment and call. Yes, no, nope, had a call, but no call. So thank you for being a part of it. We'll take a break here. We'll come back, give you a chance to get up there on the socials and drop a comment on the stream or get in on the phone line, 314-436-7900. We'll take a break. Joe Pott with you on the Extra Innings Show. 9-6 Redbird winner today. We're coming right back on KMOX.
At Sandberg Phoenix, we are more than just a law firm. Our attorneys are committed to you, your business, and your community. From startups to established businesses to estate plans, we are ready to serve you in the areas of business litigation, intellectual property, health law, and products liability. With offices in Missouri and Illinois, you can conveniently visit us today at sandbergphoenix.com. That's sandbergphoenix.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertising.
Cash for Clunkers is back. Overhead Door Company of St. Louis is paying cash for your clunkers now. They'll haul away your old garage door and give you instant credit towards a new insulated door. $200 for the first garage door and $100 for each additional door. Cash in your old entry door too. It's Cash for Clunkers now at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Convenient, free, in-home estimates. Schedule online at overheaddoorstlouis.com or call 314-781-5200.
Lifestyles Unlimited, the education and mentoring group with a roadmap and support to help you real estate retire.
Having the consulting team, having other avenues within your whole system is what's made y'all successful. Everyone is there to guide you to be successful. So it's just up to you to get off the butt and do it.
Do it. Take action today. Get educated now at Lifestyles Unlimited. Text the word radio to 88007. That's radio to 88007. Join for $297, a 60% savings. Lifestyles Unlimited. Text radio to 88007.
You know Gray Bar for electrical parts. But there's one more thing you may not be thinking of us for that can help maximize your next project's total value. Our pre-project planning services are designed to help you win the bid, save on labor costs, and keep your installers productive across your entire build. The sooner you call us, the better. Because when we're there from the beginning, we can anticipate your needs and help you solve problems before they become problems. Yep, Gray Bar does that.
Now, back to the Verizon Extra Innings Show.
Wind up, Allard's pitch. And that is hit high. That's hit deep. That's hit out of here. A goner to left field for Contreras. 9-6 Cardinals in the ninth inning.
It's the Extra Innings Show on KMOX. It's presented by Gray Bar. Gray Bar, your distributor for datacom, for electrical datacom needs. Joe Pott with you. What's on Deck is brought to you by Chesterfield Fence and Deck. The sign you have the very best, chesterfieldfence.com. What's on Deck is an early game tomorrow, and that is an 11:05 first pitch, 10:10 with the pregame show. Matthew Liberatore and Logan Allen go at it on Roku TV tomorrow. That will be Tom Hamilton, the play-by-play voice for the Guardians, and Brad Thompson, the Cardinals analyst for FanDuel Sports Games. That's your team tomorrow. I've got a comment that says, if we could project this season out to October and all things being equal, this team would be the last team that I'd want to play in a first-round or wild card game, and I think that is 100% on because of the things we talked about, because this team is relentless and they can single you to death. They can pile up the hits. It doesn't matter if you get up big on this team. They're going to most likely be in a game no matter which way it goes. And I would absolutely agree with that. It would be a tough out in October. Let's hope that we are talking about that a few months from now, that is a real possibility. And it certainly looks like it is going to be for most of the way out during this 2025 season. Now, this team is going to be a team that figures into the mix. And I think that is obviously a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun this afternoon as the Cards win it 9-6. Big thanks all around to the voice of the Cardinals, John Rooney, to Rick Horton, to Mike Claiborne, to Ryan Schulte, all in the booth there in Cleveland here today. Johnny Camps keeping us in line and on time all afternoon, and I always appreciate that. I've got you for the early pregame show tomorrow, so no sports on a Sunday morning because of the early baseball. So I'll have you for that pregame show beginning at 10:10 in the morning, and then two lefties are going at it tomorrow in an early game. Cardinals looking for the sweep of the Guardians to start this road trip. I'm Joe Pott. Keep it right here on your home of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
The trusted voice of St. Louis, KMOX AM St. Louis, KMOX FM.